Hey guys, I don't know what's going on. For whatever reason, when I logged in to my camera software here for going live, good morning Heather, it did not want to show me my previously scheduled live. So give me a second, I'm going to go drop the link here to this live in that pre-scheduled live. I'm not sure what happened. Fun times. So hopefully everyone can come over and find me. Let's see. Join us at the original link. Originally, oh no, let's see, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. So hopefully people can find me. Hi, Rebecca. What a pain. How is everyone this lovely day? Hi, Christine. I see people are finding me. That's good news. Happy Tuesday. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Charlene Madrid. I'm on the design team here with Picket Studios, and I go live on most Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Central, and I make a project using the new release and give you my tips and tricks along the way. So what? That's so bizarre, Rebecca. I don't know what the deal is with that. Some kind of glitch in the software. I don't know. Weird. Hi, Mari. Welcome. Well, people are finding me. That's the good news. So I'll delete that other live that was pre-scheduled later. I don't know why it did that. So good news. Guess what we have today? We have a brand new release. I'm so excited. Really cute stuff, you guys. So let me drop you down here to my desk. And this new release, Picket Fence has a brand new designer. And she is fantastic. So, and I hope I don't pronounce her name wrong. Yuzu Nook is now designing for Picket Fence. And this is her Happy Paws design for the new stamps and dies. Super cute. You guys know I love cute little stuff, so this is adorable. Good morning, Arlette. And to celebrate her first month designing with us, we are going to give away, if you purchase the Happy Paws stamps or if you purchase the stamps and dies, doesn't matter, you will receive this set called Such a Party Animal for free. So I wanted to point that out, let you guys know, because, like, come on. How cute is that? I can't even. And then there are also coordinating dies for this that you can get. So I wanted to show you this. Everything's in the links in the description. But how cute is this main set, Happy Paws, with the little pet store and the little animals and adorbs. The whole release this month is, well, not the whole release, but the kind of main theme of the release this month is pet themed, and so there's all kinds of cute little things. And then we have the Thanks stacked word die that we're going to use today, and we're going to start out here with the Fetch 6x8 layering stencil set. So I am going to pull these out. These are layering stencils. So you can use them by themselves or you could layer them together. This top layer is these cute little bones, and then the bottom layer is little paw prints. And then if you can see there, yeah, so they kind of offset each other when they're layered. So we're gonna do the paw prints first, and I'm gonna use a colored piece of cardstock today. It's a piece of Aqua Sky. And I'm going to grab my sticky mat here. Take off the back. or front, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. And pop this right on there. And then pop my stencil over the top. Who here does not have a sticky mat yet? That's what I want to know. Because if you don't, you are missing out. They are so cool. They make things so easy. And we are going to ink blend with black ink. And the reason I'm using black is because I want those little paw prints to really stand out on this blue cardstock. So I'm just taking my regular black hybrid ink here, and I'm just gonna kind of go to town and color in my little paw prints. The nice thing about coloring or ink blending with black ink when you're working with a stencil is like there's no shading, right? So you just get that ink on there until you're happy with how dark your black is. And we'll go all the way across here. Or like you got the smallest mat. Yeah, they come in all different sizes. And as long as you can fit your cardstock on there and then have a little bit of space around the edge, it will hold your paper and hold your stencil, and you don't have to worry about tape, you don't have to worry about pixie spray or any of that nonsense. When I'm doing this, if I'm trying to get a real solid color, you see how I'm going back and forth? I'll go in each direction, and that's just to make sure that my brushes are getting down into all of those little nooks and crannies and areas of the stencil there. And I think we are good. So easy peasy. And then you can just peel off the stencil and we will see our pretty paw prints. This would also look cool if you dry embossed with it, right? Ran it through your die cutting machine with your embossing mat. You'd get that little paw print design. Cute, cute. So I remembered my water bath today. So I'm gonna throw that in there, even though it doesn't have any mixed media on it. It'll be out of my way and I won't get anything inky. Because you guys know I'm kind of an inky mess. Vicki Donnelly, how are you, my friend? I am well. You missed the intro, Vicki. There was technical glitches abounded. Hi, Rosie. Is it Leanne? Leanne. I hope I'm saying it right. Hello. Okay, we've got the second layer here. We're going to do some doggy bones. So you just want to line this up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just going to make sure that my bones are kind of, what a funny thing to say, my bones, right? I'm going to make sure my bones are sitting sort of in between everything and not over. Sticky mat's too good for its own use. Okay, let's see. Don't want to overlap anything. Stop sticking. It's the sticky mat. It's so sticky. Okay. I think that's about good. So, I'm going to drop that back down on there with the bones. And there are two, my friends, two samplers this month. We've got the canine sampler. This has got blackboard velvet, snowdrop white, and chocolate frosting luxe in it. And then there's the felines sampler. This is cream puff glass, bonfire velvet, and black pansy. So even if you got both, you were getting two different blacks. But we're gonna pull out this snowdrop white velvet. So this is gonna give us a kind of a shimmery matte kind of finish, which is very pretty. And we're gonna grab our, what spatula do I want to use? I think I want to use this one. Any coffee, guys. That whole like morning thing with the live not working stressed me out. Coffee. Oh, yes, thank you, Vicky. Look, aren't they cute? Christmas cookies. Little gingerbread cookies. I was very pleased with myself when I put these on. Okay, we've got Snowdrop White. This is like really soft and like marshmallowy, right? It's just, it looks like good enough to eat, but don't eat it, right? So I'm going to mix this up a little bit, and we will just dab along the top here and run it all the way down. Now, the nice thing about this, it is opaque, so it's a great thing to use when you want your whites to really stand out, and you also don't really want like extra glittery stuff going on. This is just going to be matte and kind of shimmery and fade into the background a little bit, but it'll look really nice on the aqua cardstock. There we go. Oh, I don't like how it looks right there. Hold on. Perfectionist Charlene is coming back in. Don't mind my type A. There we go. Now, we will do our peel and reveal. Ooh, I'm running into stuff this morning. We're going to peel this off. Oh, it looks so cool. Like I can't even. This step alone makes my little heart happy. I just want to like dance in my chair, right? Okay, let's put this in here. Vicky, you need to get your paste out more. I am telling you guys, like, it's not just me trying to get you to buy pastes. I promise. I absolutely love the mixed media stuff that we have here at Picket Fence. And it's so easy to add texture and just interest to your background. And look how easy that is. Like, it did not take long at all. Oh, there's a good shot, right? It's going to dry like that. So cool. Let's set this out of the way so I don't wreck it, because clips. There we go. And then you don't want to leave it. The only thing is you don't want to leave it on your sticky mat for very long. So you'll see sometimes I will use a piece of copy paper and I don't do it on my sticky mat. And that's just because I know I'm going to either like take a while, or I'm worried that I will get too much on there, because that's the other thing. If you get a ton on there, it does take some time to get, make sure it's all cleaned off, because you don't want it to dry on your mat. That is for sure. I'll get this nice and clean. I'm going to spray it a little bit. Get some cleaner on here. If you do use a stamp cleaner on your mat, I recommend once you have finished cleaning with the cleaner, that also then spray it with water and wipe it down again. Because sometimes the cleaners can just temporarily make your mat less sticky. So there we go. That's good. I'll hit it with a spritz of water later when I have all the times in the world. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, thanks, Vicky. Thank you, Arlette. Thank you, Christine. You guys are sweet. I'm so glad you're all here today. Oh, before I forget, I will not be here next week. I'm going to be flying out to Colorado on Monday morning. and then flying back in the afternoon with my mother-in-law. So I'm gonna be a busy gal on a plane. So I will not be going live next Tuesday. But the good news is my mother-in-law will be here for the holidays, and I am super excited to have her here. And my kiddos are excited. She'll be here for Christmas. Let me cut this in half. So that is going to be great. Do you guys have any big plans? Anybody going anywhere? Doing anything fun? Okay, let's stick that in there. We are just going to hang out at home. We don't have any other plans besides that. All right, here's my thoughts, you guys. Monday is the 23rd, so it's not Christmas Eve. I won't be flying on Christmas Eve. But my original plan had actually been to go live on Monday since it was the 23rd. Do you mean like my normal day is the 24th? Yeah, that makes sense. So my thought here is we'll see how this works out. We're going to die cut this thanks out of white cardstock. And then I want to put some of these cute little kitties and doggies. I'm not sure which ones or how many. So let's just go ahead and do all 4 of them. So we're going to grab the little puppy and the kitty, and I'm going to give you guys my tips for coloring in little critters, because these guys are pretty small. These are, what are they? They're about 1 inch tall by about 3/4 of an inch wide, and except for the kitty that's walking, that would be the opposite. And on the Such a Party Animal free stamp, the animals are actually a little bit bigger on this one. Not by much, but you can see they're a tiny bit bigger. So that's nice. You would have that variety. I love that little doghouse. In fact, I might, depending on how much time we have, maybe I'll color some stuff out of there. Let's start with this though. Okay. We're going to stamp these out. Oh, Arlette, that's awesome. Easy peasy, right? Right across the street. We're going to stamp these with black hybrid ink. This is a hybrid ink, so it works with both alcohol-based mediums and with water-based mediums. So you could watercolor, Copic color, do colored pencils and Gamsol. You could use Olo markers, whatever you want. I want my lines to be kind of dark, so I'm doing 3 little stampies here. You're so cute. Look at those little critters. I'm really excited. Oh, and the other thing I should mention, Yuzu is going to be doing, I believe, 1 set a release. So if you are a fan of absolute adorableness, I know that's not a word, it's a word to me, then pay attention to her release, or to her stamps that we have released each month. Okay, let's make my brain's everywhere, y'all. Let's grab our Olo color chart here. My kitty, I want to make my kitty orange, I think. Oh, at least this one. Let's do this one orange because he's got little stripes. We're going to do 01.3, 02.5. What did I say? Oh, 1.3 and 2.5. 1.3. Okay, there we go. So the 2.5 I am going to use here. Move move some stuff out of the way. How's my desk already covered? All right, the 2.5, I'm gonna start by giving a little bit of shading around our little kitty's round little back there. And then I'm gonna bring in his stripes like so on each side. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And you can see he's got like a little leg here. And then his little arm is there. So I'm doing both shading and some stripe work with this. I'm going to shade this other little arm underneath his head there. And do I want to shade anywhere else? Let's do a little bit of shading maybe right over the collar, on the ears. Let's bring these stripes off the top of the head down. And maybe a little bit of shading on each side of this little tail here. And some right along the base of the tail. There we go. That'll do. So we did our dark, where we did any kind of like detail work as well as shading. And now I'm going to bring in my light, and I'm just going to bring it over, remember, just where that dark is. We're not going to take it all the way into the dark. We're just going to blend it around the edge of where that is. And when you're working with little sweet, cute little tiny stamps like this, you could use 3 colors, but I find it's just such a small space. It's hard to really get into everywhere with 3 markers, especially if you don't have bullet tipped markers. So you can try, but I honestly think you get plenty of an adorable result with just 2. So here's our little kitty. Now I would usually do that twice, but since we're live, I'm just going to go over it the one time. And then let me get, I'm like, why is it so hard? Why are they so small? It's because I don't have my reading glasses on for coloring. Coloring glasses. Hi, Paya. How are you? Yeah, Brenda, the Olo color wheel, and I colored these all in myself with my markers. It just really gives you a true representation of what your stuff is going to look like. And so this is like one of my favorite things that Olo did, which I think is fantastic. Forgot to do my coffee song. You're going to be traveling, Rebecca? Well, I hope you're driving and there's no snow. The airport I will say, is not my favorite place to be when it's busy. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you was, look. You've got some examples on the back here. So I'm going to use kind of some color inspiration here from the back so I don't have to think too hard this morning. Let's see, let's go. Ooh, let's make this kitty like a little Siamese kitty. Siamese cat, right? We had one of those when I was a kid. My grandmother did. So color-wise, I think we'll go with maybe a YO 2.0 and a YO 2.7. And let's see how that does. Or we could do, if we want to go more into oranges here, we could do a 07.1 and a 07.7. What do I want to do? Let's do the 07.1 and 7.7. 07.1. Guys, I'm about to stick my hand into this background, so I need to move it. Okay, so we're gonna use, I also want to get a color for shading. Let's get a 7.3, a very light color for shading. It's probably on the back of this, yeah. So we'll go first in here. I'm gonna use my 7.3 really to do the shading. So I'll come in, we're gonna give the kitty a little bit of shading under his belly, down behind this arm, underneath this leg here, and then maybe a little bit here at this leg joint, and underneath this collar, and then maybe a little bit on the sides of this sweet little round head. And we'll just go ahead and color in those ears. We also could do a little bit under the tail there. So now, this is kind of out of order of what I usually do. It's gonna seem like that, but it's really not, because this has to do with like the coloring of this cat. So I use my shading color, which I'm gonna do 07.3. And then since it's a Siamese kitty, they have like dark areas on their feet and usually on their tails and on their face. So we're gonna come in with that 7.7, and that's what I'm gonna add now. So I'll come in and add that 7.7 right at the tip of the tail, maybe some on the feet, some on this foot, this foot, this foot. Now, if I was prepared, I would have went and looked at some pictures of some Siamese cats, but I think this is probably pretty accurate. So I did just a little circle there around the nose. And then I'm gonna, let's see, maybe, no, I think that's good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna come back in here with the 7.3, and this will be a little bit of blend line, so it's not quite so stark. So I'm gonna go right over the edges of that 7.7. Same thing here around this face area. And then I'll bring in my 7.1. Now 7.1 is going to be our main color. So I'm going to pull this out. And remember, these are going to lighten up a little bit. So I'm going to pull out or run my brush head along the edges where that 7.3 is. And then I'll do the whole face here, coming around the edges, and go over the back and do his whole little body. So this will dry back some, but you can see we've got our little Siamese kitty here. And I think I'm actually gonna go back over everything one more time here with this 7.1. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm gonna do the ears later, because I'll just do the same color for all the ears, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do for the collars too. For this pup, let's do some brown, huh? Let's see, let's do more of like a warm brown. We could do a OR 3.7 maybe, and maybe a 3.2. Let's do a 3.7 and a 3.2. OR 3.7, 3.2. Where's my 3.2? 3.2. Here we go. I'll be so glad when they come out with the bullet tips for the Olo, because then I'm going to get the bullet tip ones and I'm going to put it on one end, and then I'll have my brush tip on the other, and then I won't have to worry about flipping around my markers and making sure I have the right number. Okay, we're going to put his little shading under his belly there. We'll do some on his little hind quarter here, kind of where it creases and goes down into his foot. We'll do under his tail, like so. Under his little bandana, how cute is that? And under, I'm going to also do it on the other side of the bandana, which is going to be under his little neck here, because he's got his little neck up like this. We'll do around that base of the ear, and we're going to come up under the base of this ear like that. And then we're going to do a little bit under his mouth and a little bit under his nose. I think that looks pretty good. And let's see how this looks with the 3.2. You know what, I think I am going to use 3 colors on this guy. I'm going to bring in the 3.4 now, since he's going to be all solid brown. I'm going to just kind of do the edges of where we had the 3.7, and then I'll do the majority of his body, except for where I think maybe I want some highlights. So maybe on his chest right there, I think maybe I'll go a little lighter, as well as on his face. We'll bring his ear and fill that all the way in. Color this other ear. Color under his face, just going into those lines. Okay, there we go. Now I'll bring in that 3.2. And we'll go back and forth in between, and then come over his face. See how much lighter it is right there? And it's going to give us a nice little highlight when it dries back. And then on his chest. And I think that's plenty good for a little pup. We could go a little darker if we wanted to. What are we at on time? Maybe I'll darken his ear up a little bit. Bring in some dark in there. And maybe we'll do under his chest a little bit darker. That was the 3.7. So now I can bring back in the 3.4 and just bring it along the edge. And pull that up. And 3.2. Okay, that's good. I don't want to mess with it too much. They're so tiny, you can easily like go outside the line. Not a big deal, but I try not to. And I will do his nose. I'm going to do the noses last too, because I'm just going to color all the noses the same color, which I'll use like a dark, warm gray for. You love kitties, Arlette. I love animals, and cats and dogs in particular. I think I've told you guys before, I used to be a cat person. I've transitioned to a dog person, but I still like kitties too. All right, let's get some more inspiration here. This guy is like, he's got kind of some gray going on and white. So white and gray. So let's use our, do I want to use warm grays on there? Or do I want to use browns? I think I'll use warm grays. So I'm going to use a WG5 and a WG3 for the gray spots. And then for his body, which we're going to make white, I'm going to use some WG1 and 0. So I'm going to pull out 5, 3, 1, and 0. I use these grays all the time. So let's do his dark areas. Let's get our WG5 to start. Same kind of thing. We're going to add shading anywhere where things kind of overlap. I'm going to add a little bit under his ears. And then we're also going to add any shading that we need in order to help us see that definition. So I'm doing some, oh wait, what am I doing? No, I don't want to do that. Ignore that. We want his tail and his spot and his ears to be the dark, Charlene. Come on. So I'm going to bring that WG5, the base of his tail. We're going to bring it along this side of this spot here. And we're going to bring it along the bottom of his ears. Ugh, get it together, girl. And let's do WG3. And we'll go right along the edge of that other WG5. And like, it's so hard to show, but when I mean right along the edge, I hope you guys can see this. I literally mean like right along the edge. I'm not going really into the color much because I want that edge line. I want those colors to meet up and have a little bit of time to get happy. And I'm gonna do that twice, I think, just to darken up those ears. Okay, now for the body. Now that I have my life together, we'll use WG1 for our shading. Up and along his little arms, under his little bandana there, or under his chin, because that part, right, is going to be a little bit shaded because their faces kind of go like this. So that under part will be shaded. And around on the edge of his face. And then because his little legs are back behind, we're going to add some shading there. And same thing with his little belly. Now we'll get our WG. I just used one. I think, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. We're going to use WG3. And we're going to add a little bit more shading. We're going to bring it back behind the legs. Do you see how that like already made those front legs look like they are really front? Like that they are in front of the other item. And we'll add a little bit of WG3 around here. I think I intended to, in my brain that's not really awake, intended to do WG1 and 0. But it's okay. Our pup looks good. We're going to bring back in the WG3 because I forgot to color the rest of his spot. And because that had dried a fair bit, it's not going to blend as well. So I'm going to bring back in the WG5. And just run it along the edge. And there's our little pup. Now he kind of looks like he's not finished, right? He just looks kind of like grayscale. You know how when you print in grayscale on a printer, he kind of looks grayscale. But that's because we don't have his little details done. So we're going to add his details and you'll see he's going to look super cute. So let's give some, I think to tie in with the background, let's bring in some blues for their bandanas and collars. Let's bring in maybe like a 2.6 maybe. And maybe a light blue with a 0.3. And then let's go with a really bold blue. Let's go with like a 4.7. Let's see where that puts us. Let's start with a 2.6, B2.6. And I'm going to bring it down. Color these little tails in here. And I'll bring it underneath his chin. And then I'll bring it down on the other side. Then I'll bring in 2.4 to give it a little bit of dimension. See how that lighter color makes it look like it's more centered or popped up. Okay, there's one. Then let's do, maybe let's do the light, or we'll start actually with B 0.5. And we'll do the same thing. Go around the edges of his neck. And because he has his neck up, there's more light hitting that. So I'm actually not going to color the under part on this one. That's nice, huh? Right? Like I'm like, no. If you have dogs, do they like it when the groomer puts on the bandana? My dog does not care for it. My one dog, she wants it off immediately. The other one could care less, but I also am not convinced he actually realizes that he has a bandana on. Let's do the B 4.7, and this is such a tiny little spot. We're gonna get just a little bit in there. And we'll do, why not? Let's do the BG 0.4. You guys can see I'm not like, sometimes you can get so lost in picking colors and like, is it gonna look good? You could spend hours and hours doing it. So, you know, it doesn't really matter what color their colors are, what their bandana is or whatever. I'm gonna bring in some CG1, which is a cool gray, for the kitty's little name tag, because that'll give it a silver look. And then I will bring in warm gray again. WG, let's try WG7 for the noses. I might go with a WG9, which is darker than that. But we'll try to 7 to start. Yeah, I want a darker nose. Let's bring in the 9. Let's get the 9. Where are you, 9? There you are. I almost never color with true black. I find that you get more visual interest, I feel like, if you go with your darkest gray. But that's just my opinion. There. Now they have noses. Now they look like they're coming together. See how cute he looks now with all of his stuff on? And I want a pink for the kitty's ears. I'm going to use R5.3. This is kind of a rosy pink. I think it's a nice ear color for critters. So I tend to use it for my critter ears frequently. Now I kind of colored his ears already underneath there, but I'm going to bring in the pink anyway. So it'll be like a pinky gray underneath in there. Not quite as bold as the kitty's ears. There. We got some cute little critters. And I could spend like a million years coloring. So this is, if I was not unalive, I would probably have spent twice as long coloring, because I would have gone over everything twice. I wouldn't have done it as fast. So I also don't want you to feel like you have to color fast, right? Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I'm dying, Rebecca. That's so cute. Hey, Yvette. Brenda, I have been using Olos for, not since they came out. I've probably been using them for about, I want to say like 8 months maybe now, maybe a year. I don't think it's been a year, but everything goes by so fast. There are a lot of benefits to them. I think the hardest thing though to get used to, if you are familiar with coloring with Copic markers, the hardest thing to get used to is that they are very like juicy. I don't know how else to explain it. They're very wet markers. So you don't need more than just like the very tip of your brush to touch the paper. And I can illustrate what I mean by that in just a second. I don't want my big noggin in the way. I'm gonna move it down, guys. I've got the coordinating dies here. But before I do that, let me demonstrate. So here's a 3.7. If I was coloring like with a Copic, I'm going to show you the pressure I would normally use with a Copic. If I was coloring with a Copic, I would color with that kind of pressure. And it's going to give me a big, like, thick line with the Olo. But with a Copic, that would give me a thin line. So I have to be, it took me a long time to learn that I just barely want the tip. I mean, just barely want that little, I mean, like we're talking like a 1/32 of the tip of the marker on the page. So that does take practice and time. And I had colored with Copics for a long time, so it took me a little bit of adjustment. And you might be wondering, okay, then is it worth it? And I personally think it is, because I think these blend so easily in comparison to Copic markers. That's my personal thoughts on it. And I have to say, I think it's probably true, or like objectively true, just because I have a lot of designer friends that also color a lot that like say the same thing. I was really, really impressed with how well the colors blend together. You don't have to like spend, you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to spend like a million times going over something to get it to blend out well. Again, don't want my big noggin, although I did wash my hair this morning, so it's nice and clean, but I know you don't necessarily want to see my head up close and personal. So there's that kitty, and then this kitty. I had this cat when I was a kid, this little black and white kitten that I had for years, but when it was a kitten, it really bonded to me. And we had indoor outdoor cats when I was a kid. I think a lot more people did back in the 80s. And we when it was bedtime, I would just call for the cat, and this cat would come running, and it would sleep in my bed every night, and it would crawl under the covers and curl up next to me. It was the cutest thing. All right, let's cut this out. Grab my die cutting machine. And we'll cut out our cute little kitties and pups. There we go. Ooh. One time I was trying to get this embossing folder through my die cutting machine, and I was tired and frustrated, and I think I had like a project due or something, and I probably should have just like taken a step back and a breath or two, went and got some water or something. But man, like it just did not want to work. It would not go through my machine. I was really frustrated with it, and I was cranking my thing, and my hand like flew up, and I like knocked myself in the chin. And I remember really clearly, because I just like kind of sat there dazed for a second, like what just happened? So let that be a lesson to you that if you get that frustrated, just walk away. Otherwise, you're likely to knock yourself on the chin. Have not ever done that again, thankfully. I have stabbed myself with various things, but that's more because I'm clumsy. I have gotten pretty good about walking away if I get frustrated. It does help quite a bit. But, oh, I didn't show you up close. There is something so satisfying about critters once they are die cut. I don't know. It just takes them from like, okay, to like, oh cute. Oh, kitty. Meow. Maybe it's just me, but that's how I get excited when they're die cut. And this tape needs to not come off with the die. So give me, I don't want you to come off, tape. I want you to stay on there. No, you stay. It's not following directions, you guys. So we're gonna, oh good, it came off easy. Good. You never know with dies. Sometimes it does not come off easy. I think I'm behind on my comments here. Oh, good. Leanne, if you go back, I've done several videos on Copic coloring. Here, there's several lives. I did it as kind of like a mini series of sorts to show people the different ways that I color. Now, I am not by any means an expert colorist, but I have been coloring a lot, and I've taken classes and I've watched other people, and I pay attention to the way people do things, and you will find that there's no like, it's not like math, right? It's not 2 + 2 = 4. There's no like perfect way to color. Everybody that you see that has been coloring a long time, they develop their own style. So I try anyway when I'm showing how to color to also give you those other pieces of information to let you know, like some people do X and don't do what I do. But there are some things like shading techniques and things like that most people follow. Isn't that cute? I'm die cutting out the thanks word die. I'm going to die cut it out twice so that I can glue those together and give it just a little bit of strength. Probably, if I had been thinking, would have cut it out of 110 pound paper instead of 80 pound. But alas, I grabbed 80 pound, and that's all there is, folks. So it cuts out really nicely. This would be great for a shaker card too, right? You could do like save your inset pieces and do a shaker. Pop these little pieces out. And that's our die cutting for today. Thank you for joining me. Where's my glue? Here's my glue. Glue time. Hopefully my glue is not clogged. I was making cards yesterday, so it shouldn't be, but you never know. All right, we're gonna add, and it is, why are you doing that? I need to fill this glue. I find that if I don't keep it filled, it does tend to clog a little bit more in that glue press. Here it goes. Now we'll just bring it all the way down our thanks. Kind of doing a little wiggly pattern here. That'll help ensure that when I add the second die cut on top that it will have some glue to grab onto everywhere. And I don't know why I didn't grab my tweezers to hold this. I am getting glue on my fingers, which is yucky. Yuck. Yucky glue fingers. And then I'll just kind of dot over here because it's trying to move around on me. There we go. I'll lay this right over the top. And then once I've laid it down, I can just go around on the edges, pinch everything together. That'll help it to line up. So that it looks like it's just one solid piece. And if I had more time, I'd probably do a third layer. But we are almost at 11 o'clock. I know I started a little bit late today because of the tech snafu. There. So let's bring back in our background we created. It's probably dry by now. That does dry pretty fast, the velvet. Oh yeah. So here's our background. Super cute with our little bones. And then we will add our thanks on the top there. And we'll add our little sweet pups. Now you could use something like in this set, there's a stamp here that says, "You're such a good friend. Tail wagging fun, headed your way. You are perfect. Happy birthday, friend." All kinds of different things. Welcome to the neighborhood. Free treats for all good boys and girls. But you could do like, "You're such a good friend" here. Put it on a piece of cardstock and do like a little banner or something like that, and that would look really nice. I was thinking this would make a good card for, you could use it for like a general thank you card, but you could also use it for a like for your to give to your vet, for your pets, or to your groomer, if you have a dog or cat groomer, all kinds of different stuff. Christine, I'm so happy. Yay! Excellent. I'm super, super happy to hear that. Good. Okay. All right. Bye, Christine. Have a good day. Let's grab some foam tape here. And I'm using some low loft foam tape because we're going to mail this off to one of you lovely viewers. If somebody wants a card, I will, as soon as I'm done here in about 5 minutes, I am going to pick someone from the comments to mail this card to send you this as happy mail. It's open internationally. I cannot say how long it will take to get to you, but I do have international stamps, and I've sent a couple internationally and they made it just fine. It took a little while for some of them, but so leave a comment if you would like to get some happy mail, and maybe I'll pick your name. If you're lurking and just watching, say hello. Let us know where you're from. Let me know what your favorite technique is. If there's anything you'd like to see me do on one of these lives. I do read all the comments. I go back afterwards and read them. So, because sometimes I miss what people said, and I like to see what everybody said during the live. I'm just cutting this tape in half. Good pair of non-stick scissors. If you're new to crafting, it is one of my must-have must-have items. Because I have never, ever cleaned these scissors since the time I got them. I don't know if you can see that. Never cleaned them. There's no sticky anything on them. And I use them for my foam tape. I use them for my double-sided adhesive. They're a beautiful thing. And I did not get enough tape because I want to make sure this does not get smashed in the mail. Let me get a little bit more. Man, I should have bought some more tape. I didn't think about it. I've got some shopping I need to do. I probably should have gotten it done during all the Black Friday. Who got some of the Black Friday deals? Man, there was some crazy deals on the Picket Fence website. Like Nicole was, she definitely was going all in with the sales. Okay, almost done. This is the kind of boring part, but it's so worth it, in my opinion, to have that dimension on the front of the card. It really just makes the whole thing stand out. Looks so nice. Cut this. And then there. Last two little pieces we'll do maybe here. Will that fit? Yes. And here needs to get trimmed. You want to fit? You want to fit? Yes, you do. Good. And then if I have extra tape, I just set it back on top here and I don't press very hard. I just kind of like set it on there and then I can easily use it later, which is good. So this, look at this difference now. See how much more, like it just looks so much nicer popped up. I'm telling you. Just do it. Just do it, guys. It adds a whole new level of visual interest to your cards. So we'll get this release tape off of here. Oh good, Vicky, you got the missing part because you were missing the little pink piece right in the bottom where it sits on there. I'm glad you got that and that it's working correctly for you. It took me a little while to get used to the glue press, but I love it. I honestly truly love it. I use it all the time. In fact, if I have to use like a regular glue bottle, I get a little sad. But I also have a bunch of extra bottles that I put all the various glues that I use in. Oh, I saw somebody do something on Facebook on like the Stamp Junkies group or something like that. Somebody had got the extra bottles and they put royal icing in them and used them to decorate cookies. I was like, what? That's brilliant. Now, I don't know. I would need to do a little bit more searching because I really don't know that the plastic bottles are food safe. But I mean, it was kind of brilliant, you guys. Like, how easy would that make decorating with royal icing? Where am I gonna put this? I feel like kind of right there. Looks good. There we go. Pop that down. Now you see how that black from the paw prints really pops. It looks so good. And we're gonna bring our kitty, maybe, so it's climbing up the S. And our little puppy here. bring this little guy maybe on our A. And our little kitty down. Ooh, let's bring this kitty here, walking on the N. And maybe this kitty climbing up the S. What do we think? I think that looks cute. What do you guys think? Should it be farther over there? No. I think here. Because then we've got kind of a triangle here, triangle here. And I think it looks a little bit more interesting visually. Yep, let's do that. And then I might still bring in a subset sentiment afterwards. But should I do this guy here or here? I think I like him right here with his little tail going up into the A. Now the trick I will say to adding little critters to large animal word dies is they need to be on the kind of the like levels of the letters is the best way to describe it. You want them to be like here, right, where you get your crossing of the H or crossing the A, or along the tops of the letters, or along the bottoms of the letters. It makes it look like it makes sense. I'm sure there's some kind of fancy art reason why that is true, or graphic design reason. I don't know it. So that's you're getting my jumbled word version of it. But it really does help to do that. And the other thing you want to at least try and avoid is blocking anything that's going to give the letter its definition as a letter. So what I mean by that is your, for instance, your A, you don't want to block this center unless you have it completely blocked and your new critter creates the defining kind of point of your letter. But like I wouldn't want to put the kitty here and block that defining angle of the N, because then your brain is trying to like process what the letter is when you're reading it. And we don't want that. And then he'll be climbing our chubby little kitty here. He's so cute. He's gonna climb up that S. Cute. Cute alert. So, if you're interested in this set and then getting the free Happy Paws set, I did link to it in the description. Those are affiliate links, so I definitely appreciate if you use them. It means I get a small commission, which helps me pay for my live software, the one that didn't want to work today, but I still have to pay for, and all of that good stuff. So I always appreciate it. So here's our sweet little thank you card. How cute is that, right? Got our little kitties and pups, and you can see now that the Olo markers have dried. See how they've lightened up, they've blended really well together. They look so nice. And we have that little bit of shine. Do you see the shine from the shimmery effect of that velvet on our bones? So cute. All right, guys, let's pick someone. Let's pick a winner. Let's see. Bonnie, yes, the glue press is really worth buying. I love it. Okay, I'm going to scroll back and forth and pick someone. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rebecca, yay! Congratulations, Rebecca. You are the winner. I don't know if you heard the applause or not. I pressed the button though. Yay! All right, guys. I am gonna wrap it up. I might add a few other little details to this, but like I said, I will not be here next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I will be back the following week, and I'm probably going live that Monday. So I think that's the 30th. So that way I can avoid the holiday, which is New Year's Eve. So I will see you guys then. Definitely be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we go live. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate, wherever you're celebrating. And I appreciate you all very much. I'll see you soon. Bye.